you only stay top of mind to your clients for 21 days between contact points. But let's first get started with our, one of the most reliable strategies that we've used, and that we get all of our team agents to use. We've used it for years and it really, really works. The first one is an equity check-in. This is like super important. For those of you who don't know, there also can be called real estate holding reviews. A lot of you guys do them as CMAs, but the problem that I've seen in the past and why we wanted to talk about this today is I actually learned to do annual CMAs from another agent at my first brokerage when I first got into the business. He would do annual CMAs for all his clients every year, kind of show them where their property is at. But the one big mistake he made with this, like, it's a great way to reach out. It's valuable to people. People want to know what their home is worth. They're curious about it. They want to know what's going on in the market. But the big mistake that I realized he made is when I first did this, I spent hours. Like, I think the first year I did something like I did something like 45 CMAs and spent like an hour on each one. Maybe not an hour, but I spent like at least half an hour on each one. So I spent like 20 hours of work putting together these CMAs for people that they didn't even ask for. And I think I got responses from like 5 people out of 45. So I got like a 11% response, 12% response rate. So we've got a hack for you guys today that you can get these. You can give people mini equity check-ins and get them to raise their hand, and the ones who are actually interested, which are likely the people who are thinking about moving in the next year, to raise their hand. So Emma, can you tell them exactly how we do this?
Yeah, so what we'll usually do is we'll pull, 3 recent sales in their neighborhood. And we don't do a full like, you guys know how long it takes to do a full CMA. It takes forever. Like half an hour minimum, sometimes it's an hour per, depending on how detailed you are. So what we're doing is like pulling 3 listings or 3 sales that have occurred in their neighborhood. Whether that's you pulling them or you have an assistant pull them. And what we do is we pull that up on our screen and we do a Loom video and we say something like, "Hey, Ryan," and I actually learned this particular script from my good friend Tom Story, but it would be something like this. "Hey, Ryan, we see our doctors and our dentists twice a year, and I think it's important that you and I check in at least twice a year on the, equity or the financial health of your current home. And as a result, I just wanted to show you that these 3 properties sold in the last 90 days in your area. Look at this one right here. It actually sold for X price and didn't have whatever one feature is in the property that they have. So it sold here and it didn't even have a double car garage, or it sold here and it actually didn't have a finished basement." If you're curious to know what your property might be worth right now, given all of the interest rate changes and all the stuff that's going on in the market, just respond to me here and I can give you an in-depth, detailed analysis of what the actual value is of your property. So basically what we've done is we've highlighted and we have a great hook in the video to get somebody to respond, but we're not necessarily doing a ton of work on the front end, doing a full CMA for them. It looks to them like we are doing a full CMA, but when they respond to us, then we can go back and we can invest our time into the people that are actually interested in a full CMA and understanding what their property is worth right now.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing here is you're just getting people to raise their hand with a lot less effort. And the thing is, when you send the CMAs just right away, you could be giving somebody something that they then go use with another agent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, this is the part you don't realize is just because somebody's a past client, you don't know what relationship they've developed with another agent. And if you send them a full CMA that you've put an hour into, they could take that information and go work with the agent they just met at a New Year's party and, drank tequila with all night and decided they're best friends and use all of your information. Whereas if they have to respond and ask you for it, before you do the work, now you're engaged. Now they may interview that other agent, but you're still going to be in conversation with these people and get in the door, and they're not going to take your hours of hard work elsewhere. So like that was the biggest killer for me. And like, we don't realize this, right? Like, we don't realize that you have to remember, people, you only stay top of mind to your clients for 21 days between contact points. And so for a lot of agents, they don't contact their database regularly for like months on end. So if you haven't been in touch with someone in your database for 6 months, a lot can happen in that 6 months, and you may not be their realtor of choice anymore. And I can guarantee to you that you're not the top of mind realtor. So this is a great way to re-engage, right? Get people who are, identify people who are actually thinking about like selling their home, or at least interested, which means, you know, they're probably problem aware, thinking at some point, and getting them to raise their hand before you put in the work. You put in the quick work up front, and you show them the work that you actually put in, because these people don't realize how much time it actually takes you to do these. So the equity check-ins, quick Loom videos, bomb videos, whatever you want to do.